Shall we pass on to the trial balance of Ravichandran? Trial balance of Ravichandran as on 31/12/2016. Here, serial number, name of the account, LF, debit, credit. Serial number, name of the account, LF, debit, credit. So first one, capital. So first one, capital. It is a liability. So it is a liability. So it should be shown on the credit balance 1,50,000. Then second one, debtors. Second one, debtors 22,800. It is a debit balance. So 22,800. Then third, rent received. Rent received. It is an income. So it should be shown in the credit balance. Then fourth one, bank overdraft. Bank overdraft. It is a credit balance. It is a liability. So it should be shown in the credit balance. Then fifth one, creditors. Creditors is a liability. Creditors is a liability. So it should be shown in the credit balance 5,500. Then sixth one, premises. Premises. It is an asset. It is an asset. So it should be shown in the debit balance 1,46,000. Then opening stock is an asset. So it should be shown in the debit balance 10,000. Then purchases. Purchases. It should be shown on the debit balances 45,000. Then sales. Sales is an asset. So it is a goods item. When goods goes out, so it should be credited. So 75,000. Then return inwards. So sales return is otherwise called it as return inwards. So it is a debit balance. So it should be entered in the debit balances. Then discount allowed. Discount allowed is an expense. Discount allowed is an expenses. It should be entered in the debit balance 800. Then discount received. Discount received. So 1,000. It should be entered in the credit balances. It is an income. So wages. So wages is an expenditure. Wages is an expenditure. It should be entered in the debit balances. Then salary is an expenditure. It should be entered in the debit balances. Then commission paid. Commission paid. It is a debit balances 1,100 expenses. So general expenses is an expenses. So 2,000. So we can total it 2,35,100. So the last digit is 0. So 2,35,100. So முன்னாடி உள்ள ரெண்டு சம் வந்து ரெக்கார்ட் ஆகல. அது மட்டும் ஜஸ்ட் கோ த்ரூ போய்க்கோ. So exercise number 4. Exercise number 4. So இதுக்கு முன்னாடி உள்ள ரெண்டு சம் வந்து ரெக்கார்ட் ஆகல. நான் அது மட்டும் ஜஸ்ட் கோ த்ரூ போய்க்கிறேன். So exercise number 4, page number 96 la prepare the trial balance from the following balances of Babu as on 31/3/2016. So cash in hand, it is an asset. So 7,000. Sundry debtors is an asset. So 5,400. Salary is an expenditure. So it should be shown on the debit balances. So bad debt is an expenditure. It should be shown on the debit balance. Then opening stock is an asset. It should be shown on the debit balances. Bills receivable is an asset. It should be shown on the debit balance. Sundry creditors is a liability. It should be shown on the credit balance. Capital is a liability. It should be shown on the credit balance. Purchase is an asset. It should be shown on the debit balance. Sales is a credit. So 50,000 it should be shown on the credit balance. So I have to put the heading trial balance as on 31/3/2016. Serial number, name of the account, LF, debit, credit. So cash in hand is the asset. So 7,000 debit. Sundry debtors is an asset. It should be debited 5,400. So salary is an expenditure. It should be debited 6,800. Bad debt is an expenditure. It should be debited. And opening stock is an asset. It should be debited. Then bills receivable is an asset. It should be debited. Then sundry creditors is a liability. It should be credited. Then capital. So it should be credited. Liability credited. Then purchases is an asset. 45,000 debited. Sales is a credit. So 50,000. Total 86,800. So exercise number 5. So அந்த முன்னாடி உள்ள ரெண்டு சம் ரெக்கார்ட் ஆகல. அதனால just திருப்பி recall பண்றேன். So prepare the trial balance from the following balances of Rajesh as on 31st March 2017. So bills receivable 18,000. It is an asset. Bank charges is an expenditure. So conveyance charges is an expenditure. So these three items should be debited. Discount received is an income. So it should be credited. Cash in hand is an asset, it should be debited. Drawing is an expenditure, it should be debited. Sundry debtors is an asset, it should be debited. Bills payable is a liability, it should be credited. Capital is a liability, it should be credited. So you have to put a heading, trial balance of Rajesh as on 31/3/2017. Serial number, name of the account, LF, debit, credit. So bills receivable, asset, so it should show the debit balance. Bank charges is an expenditure, debit balance. So conveyance charges is an expenditure, it is a debit balance. Discount received is an income, so it should be shown the credit balance. Cash in hand is an asset, so it should be shown in the debit balance. Drawings is an asset, it should be shown in the debit balance. Sundry debtors is an asset, it should be shown in the credit balance. Bills payable is a liability, so credit balance. Capital is a liability, it should be shown on the credit balance. Total 39,200. So with that we conclude that. So far we have discussed about the exercise number 4, 5, 6. See, we can see in the